I wouldn't have gotten to this point probably, or wouldn't have been searching for that extra little piece, that polishing of my soul, if I didn't probably have those reactions. But I thought it was beautiful, and so I'm looking forward to the other level, you know, like, because we can never do anything. We can only do things for ourselves. So I see from the practice that I have, the quieting of myself and going into the stillness, whether I sit down and meditate or else I go in my life. So I'm looking forward to that for my husband and also people I care about, which is why I want to have the weekend. And so that part is so exciting. Like, people look at me and they say, you do so much, Bonnie, but I also know, like, when something grabs my passion, it's never like you're doing much. It's just, you know, you're following your heart's desire. So this is kind of like a treat. Like, I'm so glad that I'm able to do that, and so glad I'm able to connect with you to just share what's internal that maybe a lot of people don't know, that I don't always speak about it because I keep a lot of this part of my life private, but it's time not to keep it so private, because there's a lot of people out there that, like you said, are looking for something or searching for that little missing piece that could really make a difference in their lives.
Yeah, and there's this common belief that some people just are better at life than others, I think. You know, some people just say, wow, look at those people, they seem to have it all together, and they seem to be living their life in a certain way, and I wish I could have that, but that's not for me, you know. And the great thing about this practice is it's for everyone. And, you know, I mean, first of all, if you're looking at someone, especially through the lenses that we have on modern life, you know, through Instagram or Facebook and stuff like that, their life is not as good as it looks anyway. So, you know, let yourself off the hook, you know. But also, it's not a great, massive secret kept only for the gods, you know. And that's what I love about this practice, is it's so simple. It's ridiculously simple, actually, in the way that it just changes your relationship with your mind. You know, so we talk about wanting to make changes in life, or wanting to, for example, be less reactive. And the reason that we are maybe trapped in habits that aren't serving us, or find ourselves being incredibly reactive, is because of our relationship with our mind. You know, we're running, I like to think of it as like computer programs, and we haven't defragged the computer since year dot, you know. It's like we're running on Vic Commodore 24. Do you remember those? You know, like, you know, and we do have a smartphone up there. It's just that we haven't updated, you know. We're not, iOS doesn't even exist, you know. We need to defrag, we need to download the programs that don't serve us anymore. And Ascension meditation is like, it's like taking your computer to the Genius Bar at the Mac store, and you've tried everything and you cannot get the thing to do the thing, and they just take it off you and press two things and hand it back and it works great, and you're like, you know. Ascension meditation can be like that, where you've been running on the hamster wheel of self-improvement, for example, or maybe anger management, or whatever program you are trying to fix the aspect of self that you feel like isn't working for you. And here comes this meditation practice, and you very simply and easily drop into the space within you that already exists, where you are already your highest self, you are already your best self, you are already your least reactive, most loving, most content, most fulfilled self. And when you can touch that part by going within, anything on the outside that isn't serving you just melts away. Overreactiveness, you know, I was very reactive and quite an angry person, and you had that reflected back to me in life a lot, but it just melts away. And instead of having to go through various programs to fix that stuff, what you're doing is healing the hurt that caused those behaviors in the first place. So when you've healed those hurts, the mind doesn't need to trigger in the same way it did before. The body doesn't need to react in the same way it did before, because the hurts and the stresses that got you there are no longer a deal. You know, it's not like you become a zombie. Of course, you remember them, you know what experiences you've had in your life, but those things that built the program, you get a chance to release them and let them go and have them return back to source where they belong, so that you can react appropriately. And isn't it even just that change? Isn't it beautiful to be able to react appropriately to your life instead of, and one of my acting teachers used to say, don't use a nuclear bomb to kill a cockroach, you know? You know, when we'd be on stage in acting school and trying to be really dramatic and like, she'd be like, this is a nuclear bomb to kill a cockroach, you know, this is not proper human behavior. And yet we'd walk off stage and go out into real life and realize people every day are using nuclear bombs to kill a cockroach. Turn on the news, you know, the newscasters are doing that, you know, never mind normal people out on the street. So for me, this practice is a great opportunity to discover the peace that already exists within. And when you find that, it's like having this magic milkshake that you can just tap into and suck down anytime that this becomes too much, and remember who you really are.
You know, I like how you described it, because I think that was part of the reaction, because I'd have all these emotions and I wouldn't know what to do with them. And of course you don't have to do anything with them, but how I don't even know if it was how I was brought up or society is, I need to do something with them. And I think I learned that I don't have to do anything with it, but it's easier said than done if you don't have a method or some distinctions to be able to just let the emotions pass through your thoughts, or you know, not grab onto them. And that's difficult. I was talking to someone the other day, and I had asked them if they meditated, and they said, no, I always have a laundry list in my head all the time. And I saw, like, because I had my own laundry list in my head all the time, like, and between the laundry list and the emotions and everything, of course I was going to be a walking reaction machine at every point in my life. And if someone said something the wrong way, they'd take it so personal. So then it was, you know, it was, I'm thinking I'm talking, and probably people, if they're listening who know me, would be like, what is she talking about? Because they never see me angry, and I probably am among the most peaceful or calm person that walks the planet. But at the same time, you know, I do a lot to be calm. You know, I work hard at being calm, but I don't have to work hard at being calm anymore, because I really just, when stuff happens, I just go into the meditation practice, and it always just amazes me. You know, I listen to what all the teachers say, and it really does work, you know, even if it means 2 minutes to step back and close my eyes or have that ascension thought. It's like, wow. Like, I could actually, like, going back to being present to life instead of, I know Maharishi said at the conference, it's like, are you actually in the same place that your body is in? And I remember that someone brought that up again, and I'm like, if I probably was in the same place as my body was in, my mind and body together, I probably wouldn't react as much. But that laundry list and everything else that happens takes me and so many people outside of, you know, that stillness that you just spoke of so beautifully, and want to embrace. I just want to say, when you were talking about the stillness and all the good things you get, I just felt like I wanted to get up and dance, like the freedom that I have of just not having to have the same worry or dread of each day. And not that each day is dread, but just silly things that, you know, can come into your day. I don't have to worry about it. And because I don't worry about it, my new word for 2019 and even for 2018 is I just really live in the magic. And I really understand that. I always heard that growing up from different metaphysical teachers, but I never quite understood it. And I really get, like, the magic is just being in that present moment and don't worry about what's happening at the time. I mean, you have to be, of course, appropriate and be in action, but if you just don't get caught up in your thoughts and do what you need to do to put things in place, there's a magic that just starts happening, and things start coming to you in ways that I could never imagine.
Yeah, that's, you know, that's the beauty of being present, that serendipity gets to show up.